control even more, win a one-on-one melee lineup. But now Evos, well, they're gonna last pick.
You may now select your heroes.
Lina is an interesting choice, especially against trolls, since Lina herself doesn't have a lot of armor. We're gonna play one quick ad and then we're gonna go through with analyzing the draft.
XBet, best odds for esport and live betting. Unique gaming lines for all esport disciplines including Dota and CSGO, casino and live dealers. Highest payouts, 100% bonus on your first deposit.
Okay, and we're about to load in. So right about now, the Lina is really good with the Chronosphere, as you get follow-up damage once you hit somebody in the Chrono. But the Lina also has that bit of a risk that she's super squishy, super weak to a Troll, an example closing the distance. For all we know, Troll could get ahead in net worth, buy a Blink Dagger, blink on the Lina, press R and get a free kill every single time. Okay, and we're gonna load in here. So
Prepare for battle.
I wonder how this Troll from Illogic's gonna fare against Evos' lineup. Evos, they do have a lot of synergy, but it all kind of relies on the Chrono initiation. It's either Chrono or Big Vacuum Wall. The Chrono can get countered by the Shadow Shaman, who, if he has good reflexes, and the previous game he did really well, could potentially hex a void just after he jumps in. It is possible, not easy, but it's possible. It looks like we're off to a somewhat quiet start, but Koala, he does want to contest the bottom rune.
The battle begins.
And look at that, Avil just counter snatching a rune there. Meanwhile, the bottom rune did go to Fireboy. So RQ not quite getting what they want. The aggression for a rune play getting punished there. So it's gonna be a Puck mid lane, Venomancer off lane kind of deal. The Puck level 25 could really become important if RQ don't fall off too soon. Since this time around the late game is actually completely evened out. I mean, yeah, the Void got the Chronosphere available, a huge late game tool. Void himself is a huge late game carry, but the thing is, RQ they get a Puck with insanely high GPM, and then they can kinda profit off that Puck to kind of focus down the Void once he's in the Chronosphere, get a Sheep Stick, get an Orchid, that kind of thing. Meanwhile, Echo Biceps is just gonna get Iron Shot down. That's the first blood for Avil there. Darkseer off to a great start. Fireboy on the bottom lane is getting bullied away from the lane, so much for safe. And Facehugger just got torrented there. Torrent plus Orb was enough to get a kill there, but look at that. He was really low health. Well, really, 400 health. It's still quite a bit, but nice little kill there for RQ. And despite the Void not going so well, or the Lina going so well. Right now, Evil is farming somewhat decently. And if Evil can hold his lane, he can get a couple of defensive tools to enable the rest of his team to stay alive and maybe even, you know, get fed till late game. Because honestly, a mech is better at winning team fights than any item on the core. But the item on the core does increase the farm exponentially, which is why it's on the long run the better item. Facehugger not getting a chance to snipe the courier there. Instead getting sniped himself once again. And this is the start that RRQ wanted. Puck getting a good deal of experience early on. Getting a good deal of momentum swinging in his favor. The Void kinda shut down. Doing his best to stay on top of the last hits, but he does need a lot of support, a lot of regen, and I wonder how long he can last against Koala, who is just gonna harass him with damage over time. But the Darkseer is still going decent as well. And I know Void is doing pretty well in terms of last hits and stuff, but the thing is, you kind of rely on the Void alone to carry this game, and the fact that Venomance is already off to a good start, you didn't really get a kill while you could have. Now Veno nearly level 4, actually starting to get some core items up. It's gonna bully him harder and harder. But hey, I mean, he manages to hold on. It's not like I'm saying his lane is going bad. RRQ, the Venomance in particular, having a good lane is actually more the case. Koala trying to get a kill on the Void. Not quite able to find him, but look at that. One more hit would have done it there. And see, this is what I mean by Koala having a good lane. He got perfect experience, perfect lasts early on, and that's now gonna allow him to actually put a lot of pressure on the Void he's laning against. Okay, and all of a sudden RRQ are off to a perfect start. Darkseer shut down, Void getting denied a lot of space in his lane, and Facehugger died twice. Yabby meanwhile in the mid lane is gonna get out of there. Gonna keep himself alive, and Evos. Okay, see, this is what needed to happen here for a long while. This creep pull. It might still be a bit too late for that now, since Venomancer, he is still really fat. He is still able to bully away Fireboy here. At least. Okay, Gale gonna miss though. Koala gets bashed up, but Void doesn't want to try and commit for a kill. He knows that this Veno is still dangerous. Illogic going quite well. I mean, right now all the lanes are going somewhat well. I'd argue all the lanes are 1-4 RQ here, even though by a small margin. Okay. Evil just went for the deny there. Taking the quick way back to base, and look at that, now they finally get a kill. A much needed kill here onto Koala, and the kill goes to Fireboy. So this is what Evos needed to get on that bottom lane. Hopefully this will be, hopefully for them, this will be enough to get the Void to snowball back. Meanwhile, Kunkka trying to enable another kill on the Lina there, but with the TP in, looks like Seifer and Yabby are both gonna just slowly, you know, walk back a couple of steps. All innocent like. And it looks like Biznet, he's just not given any space now. Koala. Poor little guy. I mean, on the Venomancer, it's rare to have such a good start like he did, and you know, what do you expect in the long run? Meanwhile, look at the Shadow Shaman enabling a return kill there on the Void. So this gank did pay off. Yabby getting a kill and some experience out of that. Troll getting some space to farm. But at least one of the 3 people you have to worry about on the side of RRQ is shut down. If you can get the other two, down as well, then Evos might just start getting their way back into this game really quickly. I mean, that's kind of how it often works. You have, you know, a couple of targets, a hit list, and you're like, okay, so at this point the troll's ahead, meaning if we can, let's try to gank the troll. Other than that, we know that the Void needs farm, an example. And, you know, you play according to those two things in a lot of games. You know who you want to gank the most, and you know who you need to allow to farm. Okay, Seifer on the Kunkka, able to stay alive there. Raikou on the Sand King, also just barely getting out. Puck throwing an Orban, but Lina sidesteps it, solves up, and that's gonna be one anticlimactic mid-fight. Troll still farming, still needs to get shut down. Meanwhile, Fireboy getting bullied away there by Koala.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I think I'm just gonna switch over to net worth here. I said freaking net worth. There we are. And yeah, this is the start that RRQ have been looking for. They do have to worry a bit about not getting shut down, but if they do manage to just keep the game going like this right now, then we could be seeing a game number 3 here, and that would be pretty hyped, but it's still quite early in the game. I don't want to speak too soon. Despite a good 2k net worth start, we've seen comebacks down here. And Evil traded for Echo Biceps there. That should be okay, ever so slightly RQ favored, which, considering the fact that that was support for an offlaner, is actually somewhat depressing. But the high value Venomancer kill is good to have. Now, only, I mean, the thing is, the troll might get really dangerous if he snowballs and starts to actually farm at an insane rate. He's about to go Vlad. After the Vlad, he can often contest an early Roche. Maybe some help from his team required there. But then you can use that Roche, that Aegis, to take a fight you otherwise wouldn't have won. Then go to the jungle and flash farm there for a bit, and you're pretty much good to go once you get like your 3rd core item online.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top
Troll
tower has fallen.
secured the top tier 1 at a decent time. I mean, it's a pretty slow lineup from especially RQ, and the fact that they still took the 1st tower, it's not bad. Fireboy far from out of this though. This guy is gonna keep on farming, keep on doing what he can, no matter how little or how much it might be.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And now Koala as well. Okay, I think this bottom tower is just gonna get slowly but surely pushed down. No rotation in. Really not in Evos' best interest. Looks like Evos want to start a fight on mid instead. And Lina's just gonna get shipped up. Follow up torrent. Dead. Now the Sand King is about to go down, but does manage to get out of there. Ice Blast does mark 3, but doesn't enable a single kill, and RQ. It looks like with this lineup they're actually somewhat comfortable. Evos made 2 really fatal mistakes here early game, and RRQ are the ones profiteering of that right now by quite a bit.
Dire are scanning.
Double harm shall I feel.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Taken before my time.
You become past tense.
So that's another high priority target there. The Puck getting killed off by the Void, especially because there was a killing spree on him. Shadow Shaman meanwhile gonna go down the top lane, while Xepher's just gonna dance away. Step lively now. I like that phrase. It's cool. It's a good phrase. Back when military officials were actually respected enough that people would be glad to have them on board, instead of, you know, be like, oh shit, there's an admiral here, guys, we gotta behave. We can't just fire random things off the aircraft carrier catapult. By the way, you should watch the videos of that, where a bunch of soldiers did it. They just took a lot of random trash and stuff and fired it away with the airplane catapult off an aircraft carrier.
Radiant structures are
Okay, mid tower about to go down here. It might be Fireboy who's gonna go down, but he's gonna live, and look at that. Illogic is gonna go down on the top lane to a 3-man gank. And that is one extremely high priority kill once again. You need a few more of those and to keep the Void alive. Those are quite a bunch of tasks.
is under attack.
You know, Occam's Razor and all says that RQs are quite favored, but Evos, it's not like they don't know what their big 3 tasks are. It's not like they don't know what exactly they have to do here. What I like about Southeast Asia in general is that the players very often they do know, okay, we need to shut this player down, get farm on this player and build that item instead of that item so we can deal with our deficit. They have this really accurate comeback plan which is just being made in seconds, whereas in Europe it's like, okay guys, we have a fighting lineup, let's fight, let's see where it gets us. And honestly, I mean, both are just as competitively viable. Okay, Darkseid just being sniped, despite standing on the tower there while the tier 2 is gonna melt.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Logic did go down elsewhere on the map meanwhile.
Has fallen.
Xepher getting nuked down completely as well. Puck able to get away from the Void. Okay, that was actually a really decent fight, especially because Troll died. It's been quite chaotic, but Troll died, Void now second in net worth. If they kill Troll once more, if Void... I wonder what he's gonna go for, by the way. I mean... I like the Maelstrom Void build, which we... like the Mask of Madness Maelstrom, but you already got a Vladimir, so you don't want to go Mask of Madness.
Time is money.
Would it be too crazy to say that I do like Radiance on the Void here? I know it sounds really memey, but a lot of players are experimenting with it right now in the pro scene. Someone in Eternal Envy's game yesterday, or yeah, I think it was yesterday, did it as well with the Void Radiance, and I'm a big fan of what that build can accomplish once you're in a situation like this, where you need to flash farm up for another 10 minutes, or like you need at least 2 or 3 more core items, and then it's kind of fun to see that in action. But it's still one of those unexplored building routes, so I think he's gonna go for something more established, like a Manta style, like a Diffusal Blade. Neither of them really gonna help. Well, Manta style could be better against Troll because then you actually have a way of dealing with the missed chance. It's not quite an MKB, but you get a good deal of attack speed. Manta into Diffusal into MKB seems the best way of building here. Maybe a Butterfly or something could also work, but... Okay, so Puck didn't have that last point in phase shift. With the last point you can blink out of the chronosphere before actually being chronoed. Like, while you're in the other realm, the cast time of the blink dagger will count and then you're out. But Evos, they are really playing on point. Doing their best to come on back, but it's gonna be a close one. At this rate, it's definitely gonna be a close one. Illogic, remember what I said during the draft about Blink Dagger being great to deal with Alina? Well, seems like he agrees with me. I don't know, recently my calls on Southeast Asia are really good actually. And the Roche. Not quite getting finished off there. Instead it will be the Ancient Apparition dropping first. Shadow Shaman ultimate. Almost killed off the Roche, but not quite. Look at that chip on the Void though, and Void's gonna go down. The Roche went down as well. Troll just got the Aegis there, and RRQ get everything they need. Troll about to go Blink Dagger. Just blink at the Lina, press R, and...
Middle tower is under attack.
Watch her drop within seconds.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So the Venomancer is gonna go magical damage Venomancer. I usually do favor the right click, but right now you either commit to the ultra late game, where Puck gets stuff like Sheepstick to deal with the Void, Venomancer goes full right click, Troll goes full right click, Kunkka gets those utility items, the aura tanking items, and then you just slightly win the ultra late game, just ever so slightly, but a slight advantage isn't gonna net you anything if the enemy is gonna initiate onto you.
Illusion.
Also, chat, ratting is when you have one person pushing out the lane. If there's regardless of whether there's 4 people waiting behind him or not. If you have one person pushing out a lane without everyone else committing to the push, it might also be baiting, but if you let's say here there's 4 people standing here, one person goes out till here and starts to push, that's ratting. Because the enemy is not gonna commit to it. If you want the enemy to commit to it, it's baiting. If you don't want the enemy to commit to it, it's ratting. That's the difference. There we are. And I mean, that's something that Bulldog explained on stream, the king of rats.
Radiant are scanning.
Come on. That's gotta be kinda clear by now. And I mean, with a Shadow Shaman lineup, you kinda want to do that a lot. You know, just send one person forward, have them push in the lane, put the Shadow Shaman ultimate, and hope the enemy doesn't commit to it, so you get an objective for free, or at least a good objective done. And now the Troll got that Blink Dagger going on. He would love to find Lina right now. Blink, press R and say hi. Lina's sitting at 12 Bloodstone charges right now, so every one of those that Team RRQ can wiggle down would be huge.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Fireboy, he's still doing his best to get farm. He went Blink Dagger and is now gonna go Manta style. Not sure about the Blink Dagger because he's kind of the main source of damage output of physical damage output on Team Evos.
Fortune's change.
Silence.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
I'll take your tribute.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Okay, so
Dire's bottom tower
Troll
is
gonna
under
push
attack.
in. If this is just gonna be a tower trade, that would be really favored for Team RRQ, especially if they don't commit the Shadow Shaman ultimate for anything yet. And yeah, it's gonna be a 1-for-1 tower trade.
Radiant's top tower is
The
under
team who has taken more of the enemy's towers is always favored in those.
Behold.
Dire's bottom
And look
tower
at that.
has
Now the tier 3 being worked on. Logic just sidestepping and pushing in now. This might just be a tier 3 tower. Instantaneously going down. Troll now getting ranged mode. Fortification committed there. But this tower's gonna drop. They do want it. They do know how much net worth it nets them. And look at that.
has fallen.
Now RQ just gonna back off. Gonna be fine, and this could potentially be the beginning of the end for Team Evos, as a lot of tier 3 towers can either be the beginning of the end, or can you know, result in a drastic change of tactics. Those are pretty much the two options there. And look at that, Fireboy taking a lot of damage from the Troll, but meanwhile, okay, Sand King is gonna jump forward with the epicenter. Is there enough follow up here? Okay, Koala is gonna go down. A good high priority kill. Still not the highest one though. The highest priority kill is the Logic, who's just walking around in circles at really low health, dealing a couple of axes to anyone in sight, and not even trying to get a kill or anything done there. He's Troll. He's like, get away from me. Let me push Rex. Throwing a couple of axes, and we gotta pause. Okay, that's fair. This could actually be a super close game in a super close series. I mean, this Void, the Blink Dagger, I'm usually a big advocate of the item, but what follow-up damage does he have? He has Iron Shells, which are kind of starting to fall off. There is Ancient Apparition Ultimate, that's not bad, and there's Lina. So there is some damage. You are able to get any one target down if you get a decent chrono off. It's just that I'm not quite sure about one single chrono being enough.
Haste.
So Troll's farming, Venomancer is now getting a Blink Dagger of his own. This is the really old school build. Meanwhile, Shadow Shaman just got one man chronoed. When I heard the chronosphere, I thought it was gonna be a chrono TP out. But at least Void managed to find a kill, a decent one at that. Shadow Shaman might just be a support, but the thing is, okay, wait, no, they're actually not gonna go and insta-gank here, because if you have taken out the Shadow Shaman, there's no disable. Without disable, you can actually get a kill on the Troll if you get a 4-man smoking before Shaman has time to rotate in. Meanwhile, Puck, this guy is so freaking escapable. Dota fix, please.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Sorry guys, choking on my drink right here. I do like the concept of carbonated drinks, but it really does hurt when you choke on them because you have to take a really quick sip.
Top shrine is under attack.
Okay, I think I'm good to go now. So, Evos, they do have a really good teamfight combo, but what they would need is a chrono where like a 2 or 3 man burrow strike epicenter chrono. That would be huge. Even if you catch
Radiant's top shrine
just 2 people with like, let's say a troll and a shadow shaman, it would be the perfect fight, because taking out the shadow shaman would, even though he's the least gold value target, if you completely annihilate him at the beginning of a team fight, you're getting rid of some of the really big, really dangerous control spells. As for any other target, even same goes for the Kunkka. Every kill is a good kill right about now. RRQ, the reason why they're so strong are 2 things: the troll warlord who's fat, and the fact that they can combine all their spells in synergy. It's not really like you have one set order. You can have Kunkka go for a 1-man X marks the spot boat combo. You can have Shadow Shaman set up a 2-man boat combo. You can have Puck set up a coil boat combo. There's plenty of stuff to get that ordering and that synergy up, and you know that's really advantageous for RRQ. So but on the other hand, it means every spell you take out is gonna weaken them more significantly. Okay, Kunkka goes down.
Burns.
And they need to keep fighting off of 1 dead hero. But Evos, no such luck. With the bottom lane slowly but surely pushing in. Troll still just farming. Skadi. Interesting choice. Usually I don't think Skadi's the way to go in this game. It can be really valuable because you kind of don't need that much physical damage, and if you do need physical, I mean, right now you go Skadi instead of your wand, then get a Satanic instead of your Vladimir's, and you're pretty much 4k, 3.5k troll warlord. You might want an MKB for ultra late, but this is still a really well scaling build, and especially the fact that the Skadi makes you so tanky makes the Chronosphere significantly weaker. A Chronosphere when a troll is just about to snowball out of control could be really devastating, and if he manages to tank up a lot against that, then it's gonna pay off. Even if you get freaking hard on troll, an item most people would report you for in pubs.
Radiant
Against the Chronosphere, anything to keep your lives good because he's so valuable.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And it looks like RRQ, they kind of want the Roche right now, but they also don't want to take a risky fight, so they're just gonna chill around the Roche pit for now. Okay, there we go. Roche contestation. Shadow Shaman ultimate committed. Meanwhile, the entirety of RQ grouped up here. Looks like they do want to roam in there and fight, but look at that Roche speed. It's quite... I mean, considering that there's no armor reduction, it's really fast. Even though, everything considered, I usually just say it's decent, but... Okay. There we go. A good two-man epicenter. Facehugger going ham here with the machine gun Lina. There comes the Chronosphere in. Two-man Chrono, including on the Troll, but the Troll is still super tanky. The Venomance, however, he's not quite as tanky. He's a high priority target. And Facehugger had to deny. Vlaiku ticked down over time there. And in the end, it's going to be a 3-for-3 fight. That's exactly what Evos needed, especially considering that it was just after a Rose. This slows down the high ground push with the Aegis a little bit. But look at how freaking fat this Troll is.
Time is money.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
8 knots and full ahead.
Okay, on the side of Evos, everybody is back and ready to fight. The Void still kinda wants to wait for the Chrono to be up, but it's not quite quintessential right now. It's not quite quintessential to have all the big ultimate combos, because you do not need to win a full fight. You can get a single kill and should be enough to keep RQ from your front door and to give the Void some more space to farm. However, even getting one kill, okay, there we are. And perfect vacuum wall combo. That's far more than one kill. Illogic, however, is still really big, is still really fat. He is gonna kill off the Void almost instantaneously, and he still has the Aegis, still just gonna walk out of there, or at least try to. The Sand King's stunning him up, but Troll is about to respawn here, and he's gonna be mad.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Okay. Facehugger manages to survive a vicious Troll attack there. Void buys back as the Chronosphere is off cooldown. Tries to get it off, but remember that puck interact I was talking about? This one. It's not 0.0001 seconds. It's literally minus 0.3 seconds, like activation time. And okay, Koala getting nuked down by the Lina. A good kill. The Troll. If they get this kill, it would be huge. But Illogic still alive for the time being. Now turning on the Void as Shadow Shaman is there. However, the vacuum, perfect. They finally do manage to get the damage efficiently used. All that AoE damage for Evos, all of a sudden being put into more than one or two heroes. And that's what they kind of struggled with. They do have enough damage to technically at least attempt to win the game, but only if all the AoE spells kind of had 2 or 3 heroes, and they finally pulled that off, kind of making up for all the damage they were lacking. And with this, all of a sudden, that big turnaround just before RRQ were able to finish. I mean, they didn't even start the fight with big spells available, which made it difficult for Evos, but they landed a perfect vacuum wall ice blast combo, and from there on out you got something to work with, even considering that there's an Aegis on the Troll.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Facehugger, I mean, double G, very differently pronounced in different languages. But Facehugger, he is not quite super farmed yet, but he is sitting at 4k, so that could change any second. And RQ, they are no longer really the dominant side of this. I mean, slightly. Another big problem in the last fight was Troll was never able to get that engagement on the Lina. I wonder if the Aghanims is gonna be enough to, or the Aghanims, what the Skadi is gonna be enough to catch the Lina. I wonder if Lina has any items in mind to itemize against the Troll straight up, like the Shiva's Guard would be great, a Sheep Stick on Lina. Kinda unorthodox, but it could work. Lina is actually going right-click build. The thing is, Troll can't even punish her for it. That's the really weird part here. Troll, he needs some way of dealing with this dangerous Lina before Lina becomes that big machine gun where the Void just kind of sets up the Chronospheres and Void's gonna come online at around 50 minutes, but until then the Lina is gonna do most of the damage. So yeah, we're paused for a while. And I wonder what the game plan for RQ is. Puck, now gonna go with the Dagon. A much needed item because you kinda wanna stop the Lina from right clicking or the Void. Even though this game the sheepstick Orchid kinda Puck would also be decent. I mean, it will prevent Void as well as Lina from right clicking. Lina can't get the fiery soul stacks needed while she's orchided up. And Venomancer, he's gonna go Heaven's Halberd, so instead he's gonna be the one preventing people from right clicking. Puck's gonna bring magic damage, Troll's gonna be bringing physical damage. Instead of Venomancer bringing a bit of both, Troll bringing physical damage and Puck bringing mostly just crowd control. Not sure which one I like better. I mean, the nuke damage from a Dagon is gonna start becoming insignificant around the 40-minute mark, the time at which Puck probably has the level 5 Dagon at best, with good timing still. There's already pipe to deal with it. In terms of, you know, bang for your buck, it doesn't seem that good. I get why it's a good item. I get that if somebody gets low health and that person could potentially reset the burst damage, is highly valuable. But it's just that if Puck's Dagon progression gets shut down a bit more, then eventually the Ethereal Blade Dagon is just gonna do 1/3 of the health of support at some point. I mean, too high, he's not quite there yet, but still trying to. Let's give him some credit at least. The tower's almost equaled out by now. Troll still farming up. He wants that Skadi. If the Skadi enables him to even once kill the Lina in a one-on-one scenario, it would be huge. Lina getting big crits in BKB. Very interesting choice there. I get why you don't want Bloodthorn. A lot of the stats that Bloodthorn gives you a total is still attack speed. I really feel like playing Dota right now. I mean, I haven't played this game in like more than a month myself. I spent a lot of time spectating, taking notes about the meta and stuff. So I don't really have a lot of time to play myself, and I really want to boot up a game or two once I'm done with this cast today. I mean, after this we got another best of 3, so plenty of Dota. Not like I'm gonna be done here anytime soon, but you know, this game is actually really exciting, and this game reminds me of why I love Dota so much in general. I mean, the current meta, it has become kinda dull on the long run, and now things like this are spicing it up. It's a pretty meta draft. It's not like anything is special. It's just like how close and how much how close the game is, and how much situational building, how many of those counter items, I think is the best way to put it, that are being built.
Radiant are scanning.
Okay, so we got a Chronosphere on a Puck. It's just a Puck, but it's still gonna be enough to kind of tempt RQ to man fight here. And look at that, Illogic's still going ham though. The Kunkka boat helping out a great deal. Their Lina managed to get away, so the big glass can is gonna live. the Fireboy, after using that one Chronosphere, isn't really able to do much more there. The Troll's still big, the Troll's still dangerous, and he's just shown that, especially with this Skadi, making him way more tanky, making him way better at front lining and punching people in the face some more. I don't know, Skadi in general is one of my favorite items. I'm one of those people who build it super early on as well, which honestly is underestimated as well. It's one of the many things in the current meta that are underestimated according to me. I have a long list of those things. The early game Skadi on a couple of heroes is one of them. Like you need some base items, usually Aquilius or something to keep you alive, while going for the somewhat expensive Skadi. But if you're an example, Terrorblade. You play Terrorblade, you get a really good lane, you get the kill or two, and you're sitting at around let's say at 10 minutes you got one ultimate orb purchased and are still sitting at 1000. Meanwhile, Shadow Shaman gonna go down. He's gonna go down for, like, I mean, now he's actually gonna go down for a significant time. Still just a one-man Chronosphere. An attempt to create space here from Evos, buy them some time, but RQ, they wanna go ham on people. Lina trying to walk away from the Dream Call, but Troll gonna go and bash her up, but still, the kill not quite there. Okay, now Lina should be dead here. Gonna deny herself, which makes it way easier to, you know, lose such a high priority kill. But Troll, if he doesn't get shut down, if he doesn't become the target of one of those one-man Chronos, with the Lina hitting him, and even then with the Skadi, it's gonna be a hard one. Okay, Troll is stunned up here for a while, but he's still just hitting people, and finally they do get him. But the Troll did a lot of work there. Okay, and in comes the one-man Chrono, enabling another kill on the Kunkka here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, so Void's just gonna go down for more than 100 seconds without buyback. I think I'm gonna switch over to buybacks here actually. I mean, until now we've only seen 2 buybacks from Evos out to enable those big combos, but since RQ will still win this fight despite their biggest hero not being there, the next push is gonna be quite significant.
Fortune's chain.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a look at the general items here. So, Illogic, super fat. That guy is raid boss mode. Avil got those defensive items to keep everybody alive, give everybody space, which really helped keep Evos in this game, like I said. But now Evos are lacking 2 things, initiation and damage. The Sand King kind of fallen off, just that utility hero to come in with a stun, with a slow there. But he's no longer that big, oh my goodness, there goes an epicenter on 5, they're all dead kind of hero anymore. And that's gonna be frustrating. Philboy, he wants to have Lina deal the damage. Lina definitely can do so. Going for the big crits now. Meanwhile, on Rex Regum, Illogic, raid boss, safer, aura tank / utility hero with a lot of those defensive items. Koala, spell damage / utility hero. And that's the one thing I am kind of worried about. He just getting denied there. I'm not sure if that was intentional. With the BKB, I could imagine it is, that they're like, okay, if Troll goes down early on in the fight, we're gonna lose the fight anyways. Like, the 3 seconds while Troll is respawning, everybody's gonna get ran at, everybody's gonna get killed off, because Troll is really the only somewhat tanky hero there compared to Lina's damage output right now. And it looks like Team Evos, they are just being sieged into their base right now, which of course the longer the siege lasts on, the more gold's gonna swing back around for RRQ, but gold at this point, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. Troll going for absolutely no lifesteal, instead getting a butterfly. Not sure what to think about that. It's great if you want to finish the game within the next 5 to 10 minutes, which is probably his primary objective right about now, but I'm personally more of an advocate of the Satanic, just because if you go down, game is gonna be okay. Talk about him going down. There's the one-man Chronosphere. There's the Ice Blast in Lina. Yep. Troll's dead. I mean, when they denied that Aegis, I don't think they were thinking about this scenario happening, but now Lina tearing everybody apart. Venoman's gonna go down. Okay, so let's analyze for a second here. Why did Troll have to die? First of all, RRQ made the mistake of overestimating themselves and thinking that any fight they would take would be on their own terms, or accidentally denied the Aegis. Maybe they just wanted to deny the cheese still. I think they were just like, okay, it's fine, every fight is gonna be on our terms, and then Troll got ganked. But this is why they've just lost the Troll, and why all of a sudden Evos are now in such a dominant position. Another reason for that is that RRQ reprioritized the Troll, which so far has kept them in the game and has led them so close to victory, but not quite there yet. And that getting their part is gonna be really difficult now that Evos are sieging. I mean, defending your base for 20 seconds seems doable. Plenty of poke, and Team Evos, they are gonna back out in time. Did do a lot of damage to the tier 3, not quite getting it though.
Time is money. Haste.
What surge is this?
Okay. Evos all of a sudden able to push in quite a bit. But the Troll's back, the Troll's angry. And he's just gonna try and catch the Sand King here. Puck gonna help out with that, and they will catch Sand King. Okay, no, Sand King actually managing to blink out there with the Eul's perfect timing, and he's gonna get away. Saving his life there. Chronosphere's up, so Troll, he has to be careful. Wait, Chronosphere committed there. Void just commits the Chronosphere on the Shadow Shaman. They want to take that control out of the fight to kind of prevent any good initiation for the next 60 seconds. Just buying space right now, just buying time, and you know, time is money, as Void so often says. Especially for Facehugger, it's gonna be important. Went for an MKB instead, just to deal with Troll's future Butterfly. And like I said, the Butterfly was a good item if you plan to finish the game fast. Now it's gonna be not quite as useful against Lina anymore. And this could potentially become a real issue. Caster should go and do fortune telling. Well, sadly the problem is bad sites don't update every 5 seconds. Otherwise I would actually be able to make a lot of money. So my best chance is just to continue my casting career till I get some bigger tournaments. And then become a co-caster as analyst sort of thing going. If bet sites would update in 5 seconds, I could really make some money indeed. But yeah. Right now, all of a sudden RRQ are in a really bad spot. A good chrono from Evos, and I mean the chrono is up very rapidly every time again, so you can just commit for a solo kill. A single solo kill, no matter on whom, will disable RRQ from team fighting there, unless the troll gets really good initiation on somebody. In that case, it's just gonna be a 1v5, of course, but a 1v5 is hard to pull off. Even in pubs, it's hard to pull off. And you know, in a game with this high skill tier, I mean, we've reached the point where teams are actually trying instead of just being like, hey, I've been wanting to try this new strat, or let's have some fun in this tournament. They're actually wanting to get as far as they can to get a couple of good invites coming their way, to you know, get a couple of sponsors tracked maybe.
Money to burn.
Illusion!
And Lina now gonna go for the big crits as well. It's gonna hit like a truck. Troll. I don't know, that butterfly of his doesn't seem that good anymore. He really needs to watch out. He really needs to make sure to get a good initiation going. He's still got the Blink Dagger to close the gap to Lina and tear her apart if he gets a chance to. And I mean, if he gets into melee range of Lina without the Void chronoing him up or stun locking him just by right clicking at him, it could be potentially huge. Void gonna go for a Bloodthorn. Interesting itemization choice. I do like it quite a bit. But this glass cannon plus utility void combo is interesting. It shows a lot of synergy and a lot of faith from Evos in their synergy here. And RRQ are now in charge. Okay, chat wants me to show net worth. Here you go, guys. It's pretty much hasn't changed that much. The only thing is that Puck with his talent managed to climb ahead of the Troll. Troll and Lina are still nearly on equal footing, so pretty much nothing has changed. Venomancer. Wait, does he have a sheep stick coming in or no? He's still saving for it. That's fair. He needs a sheep stick and a halberd, both two really huge items.
Fortune's change.
And another quite notable thing is that Lina can now go for a BKB. Facehugger, if he thinks it's gonna be necessary. And I mean, the late game is gonna be super equaled out between these teams, if not slightly favored for RRQ. Well, with this build and with this, you know, choice of everything, I'm not sure. Venomancer doesn't right click at all without the damage talent, and Lina is giant glass cannon. Troll, he is about as good as anyone carry, but only as good as one carry, and there's two really big ones on Evos coming up once Void gets that Bloodthorn and actually starts right clicking for some significant damage. RQ trying to push through the bottom lane now.
are scanning.
Invisibility.
The Roche. Huge priority here. There, with the Lina, there is plenty of damage to make it happen. Bloodthorn is complete on the Void, so all the damage in the world available to try and contest this Roche, but RRQ, they have a good idea that the Roche is gonna be up right now and that it's gonna be a high priority to take the Roche away from Team Evos, because if they get it, then Evos will be able to, for the first time in this game, go for a really significant high ground push. The towers are already slightly in favor for Team Evos, because both teams lost their top tower, but for the Dire, the top of course is the safe lane, meaning the towers there are slightly harder to push in. And that was one fast Roche. Instead of trying to stop the Roche, all of a sudden RQ just went away from it, and I don't think they thought the Roche was still gonna happen that quickly here. I didn't think so either, so I can't blame them for that, but now the Roche got taken. So will the Sand King, taken into oblivion, that is. Meanwhile, the Void already losing his Aegis, and Team RQ, they did set up for a really good fight. Now the Chronosphere is gonna come out, but look at that Torrent. Gonna waste some time from the Void. The Shadow Shaman is gonna go down. Now the Troll's gonna go down. Okay, Evos, they can actually take this game 2-0. RRQ, I think they've just been playing a bit too careful, and that's what punished that's kind of what's punished them now. Kuhn got torn apart there, Philboy with the Bloodthorn. Actually right-clicking for some damage, like I said before. This is where he becomes big. Puck just split, pushing in now. Trying to get Team RQ to return home and defend their base. And with a double catapult wave, that's very realistically possible. But not yet. Instead, the Void's gonna go one-man Chrono onto the Venomancer here. And Venomancer is gonna go down straight up. Everybody else managing to get away. Kunkka forced to buy back. The Troll still hasn't bought back though. And Kunkka now gonna die back here actually. So it's a Troll with 2 lives and a Puck against 5. And I think that alone says it all. This is probably gonna be GG to Team Evos.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
The top Rex now getting pushed in as well, taking a whole lot of damage. That's 2 lanes of Rex, which are gonna go down. Only 1 lane remaining up, and there comes another one-man Chrono on the Puck. Void just going full ham. The Epicenter, which doesn't even do that much anymore, is getting committed there. Just because Sand King, it's gonna be hard to put it to any good use, so might as well make sure Puck doesn't have a chance to get away. And this is gonna be Megas, if not GG for Team Evos all of a sudden. RRQ, they had such a good game here. I mean, this was pretty much the story of this game. How to win a game in 3 devastating team fights.
Time is money.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
The red Dota did pay off, and look at all those range creeps going ham, but against Megas, it's not gonna matter that much anymore. Look at that firing squad doing their best to hold out against the Megas, but they're just getting slaughtered.
take your tribute.
Okay, and in logic, he's trying to push on in, and he bought a Battle Fury there. This is putting everything onto one objective, but look at that. On the mid lane, 2 main Chronosphere coming out. The Meg is doing some work. Troll trying to red this game to finish here. Doesn't have... Oh wait, he does have buyback actually, but doesn't quite commit to the redding. Okay, and that's just gonna be Troll going down, buying back, but the problem is Troll doesn't really have anything he can do. Puck's gonna be going down again, and GG's being called here. RRQ, they were so close to pulling it off, but didn't quite manage to do so. I mean, everything started going sideways when that Aegis was denied. And with that, this best of 3 is just gonna turn out as a 2-0. So that's gonna be a bit of a break coming in here. Let me check the schedule real quick. Alright, in about 1.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check.